Hello, and welcome to Totally Schway Flipside. My name is Mary,
And my name is Luke.
and this is a podcast about whatever the hell I want it to be about.
And what do you want it to be about this time, Mary?
Barbie?
Nah.
No, do you see what I did there? I changed it up a little bit. This is the second time I've made that joke, by the way. Today is going to be continuing our conversation about Penguin, the show on HBO Max.
HBO Max.
Do we just call it Max?
Yeah.
Or do we just call it HBO?
You can say HBO if you're talking about people watching it actually on television, but if they're streaming it, it's just on Max.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
So there we go. I think we have this conversation every other week, but yeah, it's fine.
So this is Penguin, episode 6, Gold Summit.
Mm-hmm.
The episode that had some phenomenal things in there, but also didn't.
Yeah, when we spoke about this earlier, I said I think this episode is the one where loads happens without anything actually happening.
Yeah.
And what I mean by that is it wasn't particularly action-packed, but it was all driven by character interactions and drama and...
It was set up for the last couple of episodes.
Yeah.
It's a good... And the thing is, usually set up episodes do not... They don't intrigue me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, oh, yawn. Oh, not a great sound. But this one I was happy with, which is, my opinion totally matters, but I was very happy with more of the Vic story as well.
Well, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Should we just...
Let's
You want to stick to the notes?
Yeah.
No, okay.
Stick to my notes because it helps me keep... Because the last time we spoke, we were both getting over COVID, and we were kind of all over the place. What's new? I think I want this to be a bit more structured. Okay. So let's go through my notes, even if they're quick notes. Months have passed by.
Yeah, so they don't actually say how long time has passed, but in my cursory research, I found that mushrooms take between 2 weeks and a month and a little bit to mature. So, based on the fact that we talked about this earlier, didn't we, about how their hairstyles haven't really changed, and okay.
Excuse me.
Sophia's had her hair cut shorter. Her hair hasn't grown longer.
Yeah,
it's because in movies they usually indicate the passage of time through long hair, but actually in French movies it's always about the main male star has grown a beard or a moustache, and there are no beards or moustaches in this episode.
Weird.
Yeah. Well, that just tells me that not that much time has passed. Like, if Penguin turned up and he had, like, a huge, like, twisty moustache, we'd go, oh my god, it's been, like, 8 months.
Yeah. I'd be like, it takes him that long to grow a mustache?
Yeah.
All right, so my second note is, after I do my sniffles, is Oz and Vic have a good bliss op going.
Yeah, they're very efficient. Penguin's the boss, and everything's running pretty perfectly. And
underground.
Yeah, underground. And one of the things I really liked about this, actually, is that he has employed all of the disenfranchised people in Crown Point, the area that's been left to rot.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why people are loyal to him, because he's giving them good jobs. And it's satisfying work. It's not like committing violence for the most part. It's people coming in and doing the electrics. It's people cleaning out waste or just assembling the bliss.
He is probably unintentionally doing what should have been done for him.
Yeah, I mean, he absolutely is, and it's funny.
Maybe intentionally, but I think it's unintentional because, Penguin only looks out for Penguin.
Well, I mean, you say that, Penguin...
Well, he has in the past.
Yeah.
Let's just say that.
He does what he needs to do to get what he wants.
Yeah.
And he pays people a decent wage because, there are some people that are not involved make note of, like, suddenly all these people in Crown Plaza are flush with cash, which indicates Penguin is paying them well. And he's not exploiting their labour, which is something that Sophia Gigante had mentioned in the last episode to earn her crew's loyalty. So it's interesting that Penguin's done something kind of similar. It's also kind of socialism.
Oh my god, are we getting woke here?
Yes, we are. Yeah. I mean, I love that scene. Obviously, the power's out in the area because of the disaster. And the Penguin and his mother lose power in their apartment. And his mother gets furious with him and scolds him for allowing her to live in such squalor. So he goes to see the councilman one evening, And I love this
We're
thing.
gonna get to that.
Have we got a separate note for it?
Well, this is another note. Vic. Wait, that's not it.
Yeah, you haven't noted it.
Basically,
so it's fair game. Let me talk.
Penguin does his duty.
Oh, is that what you mean by Penguin does his duty?
No, there's another one about Vic, but
Okay.
Penguin does his duty as I guess you could call him the leader of this pack.
Yeah, he is the leader. He's absolutely.
And Luke's gonna finish saying what it is after I rudely interrupted him.
I mean, I've been talking for ages, so I've been hogging. But perhaps I'll just finish that thought on. So Penguin goes to visit this councilman and basically tortures him.
Mm-hmm.
He takes a set of pliers and starts squeezing like his septum.
He says, "It's only your nose."
Yeah, he's like, "Come on, it's only your nose." But he squeezes it and says, "You've got to get the power back in Crown Plaza. I know you're diverting it to the rich neighborhood and leaving people with families like the elderly and the children to freeze. And you're gonna fix this." As he's like squeezing on his septum, making his nose bleed. And the thing that made me laugh the most is when Penguin lets him go because the guy says he'll do it. He then kind of he helps guide him out of his parking space, going, "Come on, you've got plenty more room than you've got." And that's something I mentioned earlier on.
Yeah, I put it here. You got more room than you think.
Yeah, that's it. It's just Penguin is like this really funny figure, as well as being very threatening and menacing. There was an earlier episode where he was making his way to the funeral, like crossing the road, and then a car came and they stopped for him, and he was like, "No, you go first.
Mm-hmm.
You go first. Come on."
I love how Colin Farrell has made this. Farrell. I always say that about his last name. I love how Mr. Colin Farrell has done these mannerisms for him.
Yeah.
Because you could write those things in, but it's up to the actor to be able to handle it.
Yeah.
And boy, he handles it so well, and he just has this flair when he's doing these comical scenes where it's like, was that in the script or was that just something that y'all did? Because that was so funny.
Yes.
And it was like the perfect kind of funny where you've got this drama going on and you're like, yeah, you've got more room than you think. Come on. You know?
Yeah. It's just it's something so everyday and normal that you would hear.
Yeah.
Following this nasty act of violence, where he's just brutalized this politician.
So let's briefly talk about the retaliation, because I say briefly because in the grand scheme of things in this episode, this particular retaliation against Oz's, what would you call them? Dealers?
His gang.
Yeah, his gang. It's only that particular part of it is only mentioned briefly, whereas this whole episode is about retaliation. Let's be real.
Yeah. So Penguin's made a deal with every gang that basically isn't.
Yeah, but
sell with them.
Yes. So the retaliation I'm talking about.
I know what you're talking about.
Is when I think it was two of the people
in the Sullivan gang.
Yes. And obviously, you know who it is because of the finger.
Yeah.
The particular finger's gone because what happened? Oz took that ring from Alberto after he killed him.
And also the fact that they were killed. Yeah.
And they were hanging.
Hung upside down.
Right. So
indicate the hangman.
Yeah, there's a 2-for-1 there.
Yeah, so I think the key thing to note, though, is that all of these gangs that Oz is working with are all kind of different national gangs. There's the O'Sullivans that are Irish. There's the Odessa mob who are Russian. There's a Hispanic gang, and he's trying to get the triads involved. And you kind of get this... You get the impression that he's kind of going to them saying, "Look, you're the underdogs.
Yeah.
Society isn't designed for people like you."
So, yeah, that's the first part of the retaliation.
Yeah.
And now, one of my favorite notes that I've had, Squid is a loser.
Oh, yes. We talked about him in a couple of episodes ago, didn't we? Squid was a cousin.
What did I say?
You said he was going to be a bad boy.
Bad boy.
Yeah.
What was he?
A loser.
Bad boy.
So he wants to get involved with the Penguins organisation.
Of shoes.
Yeah. He notices Victor's wearing some expensive shoes and says he wants in. He wants some of the money. Oh, yes,
Which,
and
by the way,
threatens Ma.
Ma loves Vic.
She does.
She loves
By this
Vic.
point, yeah.
Because Vic's been taking care of her. And Squid comes along and is like, yo, excuse me, I helped you, you need to help me. But he's not saying like, oh, I helped you, you helped me. He's not actually saying that. He's like, I helped you, now you're gonna give this to me.
Yeah, he's threatening.
And he brings up some stuff, but he also brings up Ma.
Mm-hmm.
And I think all of that together kind of gets to Vic.
Yeah.
And I think it's the Ma thing that he knows, like, I've got to take care of this right now. And he tries to do it in a different way.
Mm-hmm.
But in the end, again, this is spoiler alert. Vic does his duty for the cause.
Yeah.
And for Penguin.
One of the things I really liked, actually, is he says to Squid, please don't get involved with Penguin. He's going to kill you.
Mm-hmm.
And Squid doesn't react very well to that. He's like, oh, fat bastard can try.
Yeah.
And then Vic ends up shooting him in the throat.
Mm-hmm.
And he just dies there. Now, obviously, that's very traumatizing for Vic. And this was, I think it was one of the scenes that you mentioned that you really liked. Because obviously Vic isn't happy about it. He's traumatized. He's just murdered someone. And he goes to the Penguin. And I think you said at the time that Penguin was being very fatherly towards him. What did you...
I didn't say fatherly. I said he was being very kind.
Oh, kind. Okay. Maybe I thought it was fatherly then. Because he, like, embraces him and says... I think you made a note of it. You said, it gets easier.
Yeah, it gets easier.
Even though it's, like, an important night for Penguin and the operation, he says to Victor, look, you're upset.
Mm-hmm.
Go home and relax. I'll handle it.
Mm-hmm.
And he like embraces him and like pats his face, goes there, don't worry about it, everything's going to be okay.
Yeah. But before this happened, I think we had to talk about it that particular way rather than doing it note by note.
Yeah, we don't do it
sequentially. Really
sequentially.
Important.
Yeah.
This next note is Ma asked Oz to help her die.
Oh,
and this was, I didn't see it as a sad moment. I saw it as his mother testing him again and seeing how he will react. And I think she wants to see if he will actually help her. But also, she's in a lot of pain, and not just physical pain, but she doesn't want to be, she doesn't want to forget everything. She doesn't want to be a shell of herself.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Yeah, I mean, as someone that has had elderly relatives who have essentially faded away because of dementia, I felt that this scene hit quite hard. And, you know, the thing that instigated all of it is that, you know, Penguin had been out all night doing his criminal acts, and when he gets home, he finds his mum's trapped in the bath.
Oh.
And the bathwater was freezing cold in this apartment where they've got no power. And he has to help her get out of the bath, which is not dignified for either of them.
No.
Very clumsy and awkward. And she's like yelling at him, you know, don't look at me, don't look at me. And he's doing his best not to. It was all very awkward and uncomfortable. And it just completely deflates Penguin, I think, because he's just come from having this really successful criminal empire.
Nope, that was after.
I know, but he had this successful empire. That's why he's paying everyone all this money.
Oh, yeah. I thought you were talking about the actual stomach.
No. I'm not talking about the stomach.
Yeah.
And he's come up with a master plan to defy the Falcone Gigantes.
Mm-hmm.
He's basically going to give the drugs away because the other gangs are kind of backing off in fear of the Gigante. I said Falcones, didn't I? But,
yeah.
Maronis, excuse me. Backed away from them. But Penguin's like, well, okay, if they're not allowed to sell it, we'll just give it to people to create the demand, and eventually they will have to start selling it again.
Word.
But he's come home, bold as brass, like, hey, Ma, you hungry? You want me to cook something? Yeah, happy, successful, walking proud. And it's all just pulled out from underneath him by seeing his mother in that state.
Yeah, and then after that, Eve.
Yeah.
You want to feel really, really bad for Eve, but then you end up thinking maybe not so much. But how Eve is found is really funny because I mentioned to Luke while we were watching it. I was like, somebody's gonna say Roxy Rocket's gonna be in this.
Yeah, because one of Eve's girls is called Roxy.
I think they've done these things on purpose.
Yeah. And given how everyone was like going, "Oh, Victor is Mr. Freeze or Mr. Zaz," no, he's not.
No, he's not. But how cool would that have been?
If it was Roxy Rocket that was...
No, that if Victor was Victor Freeze. Like, oh my god, I would have loved... oh my god, I would have loved that.
Yeah, maybe, I don't know.
I doubt it, but...
Yeah. So the thing actually we forgot to mention is obviously that in frustration with the Penguin evading them and getting past their measures, Sal and Sophia break into his home.
His safe.
Going through his stuff, and they're just like so dismissive, and like Sal turns on the fireplace and the music, and he's got like a look of disgust, like, oh my god, this is so tacky. And Sophia's like, yeah, I know. But they find a drawer with some of Eve's stuffs in and the picture of her in it. So they're like, right, we're going to go kill her because this is the only person Penguin cares about.
Yeah.
Which, partially true.
Yeah, but we all know he's just using her for... I mean, he cares a little bit, but I think it's going to anger him if they did hurt her. Which, by the way, they didn't.
No.
Because Eve and Sophia have a convo, a little goss, and Sophia's like, nah, I've been there.
Yeah, that's the thing, because Penguin's girlfriend Eve is not who Eve actually is.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, when the person the Penguin loves, wearing a wig and makeup,
yeah,
it's all starred.
Yeah.
She just says what he wants to hear.
Exactly. She's told him that.
Yeah.
But
she presented her real self to Sophia and said, look, I told Roxy to tell you, and I wanted to talk to you.
It was easy money.
It's easy money, and I want to talk to you. And if you kill me, okay, that's fine. Just don't harm any of my girls.
That got me there because she could care less about herself. She's just like, nah, don't hurt my girls. Do not hurt them. Because you know she'd come back and haunt.
Yeah. And it's funny, actually, because when Sophia and Sal are trying to find Eve, they're asking all the street workers, and they're all just like, nope, never heard of her. Even though they definitely do know her.
Those are her ladies.
Yeah.
And it's very interesting how I feel about Eve, because what Eve does in the end is she tells Sophia where Ma is, and where Vic is, and where Penguin is. She basically tells them that they've been at Crown Point, and that sucks. So that's why I say, like, you really want to feel bad for her, but you also kind of don't, because it sucks, because she's looking out for her people. Because I don't think Eve is looking out for Eve when she does this. I just think that she's trying to show some loyalty so Sophia won't go after her people. It's crappy, but it's exactly what the Penguin would do.
You say that, though, but Sophia had already started to leave. And then Eve told her.
It's showing some loyalty.
Oh, to Sophia.
To Sophia.
Okay, I get it. All right.
Because she's like, you've done this for me, I'm gonna do this for you, and we're even.
I get it, yeah.
Or we have a thing, it sucks, but like I said, you want to feel bad for her, but you kind of don't as well. Yeah. Even though Eve, probably the most genuine, honest character in this whole thing.
Well, it's just kind of ironic given her profession as a performer.
Yeah.
And all the different identities she has.
Yeah. But who doesn't have different identities to different people? Or is that just my neurodivergence? I really, really liked the fact that they showed Sophia. It's another woman to woman thing. It's kind of those rules that are there, but they're not there. But it's a guideline saying, hey,
the unspoken
this
rule.
Guy is not gonna get in between us, and we don't have to look out for each other, but we also don't have to F with each other either.
Yeah.
And I think that's good. And I don't think we'll see much of Eve in the next 2 episodes. But this also leads on to the speech.
Mm.
We've kind of gone over it a little bit, but this speech is such a Penguin speech. Because he's like saying, "Oh, we're the underdogs.
Yeah.
We're this, we're this." And I say it's the Penguin speech because Penguin has done this several times in this season where somebody interrupts him saying like BS.
Yeah.
And what happens? They interrupt him and say like, how are we supposed to trust you when you've done blah de da de da? And
he's like, you shouldn't.
Yeah, and he's honest. He's like, meh. We have to work together against the people that are working to kill us, essentially.
Yeah. I liked what he said about, well, what would you rather do? Do you want to be working for people who don't even know your name?
Mm-hmm.
Or do you want to make something for yourself?
Yeah. And keep people, like their own people, safer.
Yeah. And it's interesting as well that they are, as I alluded to earlier, they are all gangs from different nationalities. And Penguin has got his physical disfigurement, hasn't he? So that there's all something about them that makes them, not white Anglo-Saxon, Protestant. What is the other term? I can't remember off the top of my head. Although, then again, there's an Italian crime family. But anyway, the point is that Gotham isn't set up for people like them to succeed. It's for the traditional...
rich people.
Yeah, the rich people. What did Oz say about it? He said something along the lines of, you think all of those politicians that run Gotham like each other? No, they don't. They don't trust each other, but they know if they work together, they can get what they want. I think we should do the same thing.
Yeah. And this goes on to the last thing that you see.
Mm-hmm.
Is there is a tender moment when the electricity is turned back on.
Yeah, Oz did it.
And yeah, Oz did his duty as a good son. And Vic and Ma, I like calling her Ma, are having a lovely tender moment, having a good dance because the music's on. And then the last thing you see is Sophia.
Yeah, she's got a crowbar.
Yeah, in the apartment.
Yeah, and if any Batman fans are listening to this, you will know the significance of the crowbar. The Joker used a crowbar to beat Jason Todd to death, so what's going to happen to poor Victor, I wonder?
So here's something that I want to remind everybody about. It is, as I am filming this with Luke, as we're recording this, it is October 29th. Please set a timer on your phones, on your computers, on your beepers, and on your Motorola Razrs. Voting is so soon. Look to see what time your polling stations open, because some of them will be in places like libraries or community centers, and they'll be open earlier than you might think. So have a look at your local places so that you can go out and vote on election day, because it's really important. I'm not going to tell you who to vote for. I've told you who I'm voting for, but please, I will remind you again. This is one of the most important elections in our lifetime. Again, I'm not going to tell you who to vote for, but I just want you to go out and vote. If you have a voice, use it. And that's my TED Talk.
Mm-hmm.
And please, 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 don't be one of those people that say, I can't do it. I don't want to do it. There are so many people in this world that can't vote for stupid reasons. Like, they literally cannot vote. Like, their place of origin will not let them vote. But you can. Whether you are a territory or a state in the US of A, go out and vote. And I think we all know who I'm going to vote for. Wonder Woman! And I think we can go on to the comments.
Yes, we can. Okay, so first of all, we've got Lowell Lucas Jr. who says, "Hey, y'all, it's Totally Schway coming to you on a Friday. Payday."
Ooh!
Woo!
Was it payday for me? I can't remember. I was kind of still delulu a little bit.
Yeah. Sorry to hear about you both getting COVID, and pray all is well with your recovery. It's no fun, but hopefully it'll pass like Joker's hold on Tim Drake.
Yeah, it did pass. I'm gonna be honest with you. It was kind of hard, but I'm pretty sure it wasn't as hard as other things in life.
Mm-hmm. On to another topic. Thank you, Mary, for the wonderful Rogue episode. She's such a favourite. It's hard not to sympathise with her plight. Whether her powers and origin can be related to her sexuality, race, or any other forms of discrimination, she's quite relatable. Despite that, it never takes away what we love about this Southern belle.
Oh, I'll tell you what, I could go on and on about Rogue. And I might do more about her one day when I talk about Gambit or someone like that, or Mystique. But thank you so much for watching that, and I'm so happy that you enjoyed it. Thank you so much, Lowell.
As always, keep up the great work. Hope your voices get better, and thank you for your hard work. God, my throat is so tickly today, but at least my voice sounds a bit better.
Did my voice ever go?
Yeah.
Did it? I can't remember.
By the way, did you see that Targets are not selling DVDs? It's crazy. I just want to buy Deadpool 3. Guess I'll head to Walmart, but it's a sad shame.
When did this happen?
Guess all my DCAU Target exclusives will go up in value.
Oh my god, thank you for telling me that. This is something I'm going to ruminate about now. Like, I'm going to walk in there and all I'm going to see is Nancy Meyers books. Is it Nancy Meyers? I think that's who the writer is of that really popular book series that Blake Lively did something for. I haven't read it yet. I probably will, but...
Next time I go to a Target that isn't the one in San Mateo, I'm going to go and inspect the order of their shelves, because they broke them down into sections, A, B, C, D, etc. And the one in San Mateo goes A, B, R. C was somewhere completely like the opposite end of the store. It's crazy. Drove me insane. So I'm going to inspect the next one I go to see if it's just a Target thing in general, or maybe the San Mateo branch was going wild. I don't remember. I didn't look close enough at the San Jose Target aisles. If anyone listening is from San Jose, go and check it out. Find out for me. Interrogate the staff. Go, why do you do this? This is not how the alphabet works.
Oh, if y'all are ever in the Target in Midwest City, Oklahoma, can y'all just tell me if they still serve pizza there or not? Because I remember when they first opened in Town Center Plaza, where they're at now, because they used to be by Hollywood Video, where I used to work. But they used to sell pizza, and I didn't see it the last time we were there in 2017.
Mm-hmm. Next comment then is from Big Mikey P, Michael Andre Parlon.
Oh, thank you, Lowell.
Yeah, thanks, Lowell.
Lowell.
So on to Big Mikey P, who says, no worries on belating this podcast, especially for ongoing recovery. That meant free time on personally... Oh, dear. Oh, there I go. That meant free time on personally becoming reinvested in Shouju Kageki Review Starlight, plus having random YouTube subscribe channels, think Outside Xbox, Corey's Datapad, and Mandalore Gaming. You know Andy from Outside Xbox.
Tarantula.
Yeah, Andy Farron.
Oh my gosh, okay. Can I tell a quick story?
Yeah, you can.
Okay. So I used to, I think I used to talk to them on Twitter or something like that, and then I've met them several times now, and I've actually had full-on conversations. And what happened? How did this start?
So we were sat down at a table with mutual friends, and Andy came over.
Mm-hmm.
And you were like, oh, I know you. You're Andy Farron from, it was Inside Xbox.
Yeah, Inside Xbox, yeah.
And he was like, yeah, oh, do you watch? He said, yes, I do. And then you turned away and started talking to someone else. He was like, I guess she doesn't want to have a conversation.
I was having one of those moments where, like, I am not joking. 3 people were talking to me at the same time, and I was just like, I don't know who to talk to, so I'm going to try to do this thing. And then when I looked back at Andy, he wasn't there.
Yeah. When I next saw him at Gamescom, like a couple of years later, he said, oh, yes, you're the guy whose wife watches my videos and doesn't want to talk to me.
Oh, my God, no! Because I think if I'm not mistaken, there was somebody that I was talking to that I did not want to speak to, and we won't tell you her name. But I really wanted to, because I wanted to joke around about, I think one of the latest games that had come out, they had said something like they didn't like it or something. I was gonna say, yeah, but I loved it. And oh my god, I just can't believe that, because I actually did want to speak to him.
Yeah, so this was like 10 years ago. So he probably doesn't even remember that. But if I do see him again and he brings it up, I'll
No, I really loved Inside Xbox when they were when there was an Inside Xbox.
Yeah.
Because of them. And when it became Outside Xbox, I have to be honest with you, I started to become more of a PlayStation person.
Dun, dun, dun. Anyway.
But Andy, I know you're not listening, but if you ever do, I will have conversations with you. I want to. I'm not that person. The other person I was with, I will not have a conversation with.
Right. So, continuing Big Mikey P's comments, says can't help referencing Batman Returns Penguin. The DC Comics adaptation since then. Is Gigantes really pronounced that way? I think so.
I have no idea. I thought it was kind of a joke, but it's.
She goes, I am Sophia Gigante.
Yeah, it's kind of. I'm warming up to it.
I mean, I could have mispronounced it at some point, as our Italian friend commented on the last episode, saying that our pronunciation needs work, but I think that's true of anything that isn't English. And then I was thinking, actually, no, most English as well.
I have said Lowell's name about 100 times because I always say really nice things, even when we're not on the podcast. Mm-hmm. I still can't pronounce Junior sometimes. Okay, I can't. So I'm sorry. I have bad pronunciation. I'm Oklahoman.
19 minutes and 57 seconds. Good old Frodo Baggins from Peter Jackson's The Lord of the Rings and the AI Sigma from Red vs. Blue is voicing Arkham Shadow Scarecrow. Then I sometimes forget that. 20 minutes 13. Not going to mention the numbers for Odd Taxi as an aside or Call of Duty Black Ops 1. Here's to hoping Phantasm's bingo card for this miniseries will be more successful than my own for Amphibia and the Owl House. Back to that. There's the bingo. Owl House has been mentioned. I, in turn, wish those shows ended with a broken masquerade and humanity publicly reverse-engineered, captured Newtopian Magitech and Lumity church-like library wedding, respectively. I have no idea what any of that is, but I'm glad that it pleases you. 2559. The same way the Silver Age has aged too roughly because of numerically rampant misogynism, chauvinism, racism, and too sugary and I can't even say this word. I think this is intentional because I struggled to say it last time. And viliciousness on certain tales. No one would like to gladly remember Alan Scott the Green Lantern's original origins, for one. Deserves a huge rewrite if one wants to give it animated series adaptation justice or something. Keep the Asiatic culture stuff. Would prefer good old Japan, not contemporary pariah mainland China. Also would be interesting to guest star notable say EU voice actors to such an adaptation, but avoid mistakes like Vietnamese sampans in Japan. 2931 timestamping, mispronounced loose, and toya. Okay.
Oh, I knew he mispronounced toya because my niece has said that before.
Okay.
I just thought you guys should know, but I didn't say anything because I don't know if she's messing with me sometimes.
Good to hear Mary's playing Vampire Survivors. I've been playing it a lot as well. I'm going to platinum it again on PS4. But anyway, Luke may like the plot of Batman Arkham Shadow as a final aside. I may very well do, but I'm probably never going to know because I don't really feel like splurging 350 quid on another VR headset that I probably won't use very much.
I still can't believe I told the Ferrangela story.
Yeah, I know.
I still to this day, 10 years later, I feel like melting into a blob of nothing.
He wakes up in cold sweats in the middle of the night going, she got me.
Oh, now I'm going to be ruminating on this forever. Like,
he doesn't, I'm sure he doesn't.
He probably is like, who?
He was mostly joking with me, if I remember rightly.
Okay. But they're all probably wondering, who's the person she didn't want to talk to? There's very few people in this world that I don't want to talk to. There's two I can think of right now, but that's it.
One of them is me.
No, one of them has... Oh my god, do they both have red hair?
Anyway, Next, we have a comment from Julia Raoul, A1ML33Y. It says, the more I think about this version of the Penguin as a two-bit crook with ambitions bigger than himself, I kind of wish and would want the show if he was running for mayor instead of trying to be like Tony Soprano. I mean, that's the way I feel about it. But yeah, the way you all talk about this show like it's the best thing ever does give me pause to wonder what else you're going to do with this whole Matt Reeves thing, because I got to feel like you're going to let him like have 2 movies. I don't think they're going to go for a trilogy. I'm just starting the Diet Sopranos by way of DC Comics. That's a really nice way of phrasing it. I like that. Like if they really want to be realistic, I want to see the Penguin end up getting caught and doing some prison time. How many years do you think they'd give him in this universe for all his crimes committed? Oh yeah, he'd go away for a long time. But yeah, I mean, I'm more into the idea of Penguin running for mayor and all the political intrigue and scumbag reader he would do to get on his way to the top, both just being a 2-bit gangster. Anyway, I'm just crabby right now because I got eye surgery, and I apologise for 2 weeks ago. I've just been dealing with a lot of stuff. All right, Luke and Mary, please hope you all get better and don't die. Keep up the good work. Yeah.
Don't you dare apologize for writing something, because nothing that you've said has been rude or like bad or anything. Don't you dare apologize. And I hope that you have a good recovery with your eye. There's a lot of us that have had eye problems.
Yeah.
But if you want to be crabby, you go for it, because your crabby is not mean. Believe me, it's not mean.
They continue by saying, I wouldn't try to work for Warner Brothers right now because it's like a dumpster fire over there run by David's. I think it's David Zaslav you've written, but it's come through as David. I think autocorrectors.
Dad.
Autocorrectors changed it to David Dadslove, which that's perfect. That is such a perfect name for him. David Dadslove. I think we should make that a running thing. I'm going to tell my friends that work at Warner Brothers that. I don't see the point. I'm trying to get over there to work for these people. Oh, I don't see the point in trying to get over there to work for these people. It wouldn't help if a movie doesn't do right, or it's about to come out and it's going to be a tax write-off. And I don't look at that place as a safe place to work, because you never know what's going to be turned into a tax cut. At the moment, I'm not quite sold what to read. Absolute Batman and Absolute Wonder Woman, because they look a little bit too New 52 grimdark for my teeth. But I don't know the Absolute comics, and they look like they're trying to be dark and serious again, and I'm like, no, I can't do this, because at least Marvel stuff has a little bit of hope to it, while the DC stuff feels like it's just hopeless with dark energy. I don't know how I feel about that, where I can easily understand care, just like the Maker Lakewood. Maker Lakewood, I wonder who that is. I didn't like their original attempt at doing the Ultimate Style universe with Earth 1 books and stuff like the All-Star line. And only good things to come out of the All-Star line was All-Star Superman. All-Star Batman was just terrible. I would give the absolute lot of chance seeing what other books they do to see if they're a bit more different in terms of what they do with a few of my favourite characters. You know, all new and all different, but at least something where it's not trying to be grim, dark, and depressing. Because that's why I don't like Batman, or One, because it's only just trying to be too damn realistic. And there's a DC Comics reader, I have to be very picky with what it takes. They just feel like they're trying to be realistic for the sake of being realistic. And I'm thinking about checking out the Suicide Squad anime, but I'm trying to wait till I work up the feelings as to whether or not I want to check that one out or not. Other than y'all, keep up the good work and join on the podcast.
So here's the thing about Warner Brothers. I could fix it. I could fix this. Just like I can fix the World Peace issue. Mm-hmm. 2 things. First, fire all the people.
Oh, no.
No. I said the people. I didn't say everyone. I'll fire the people that need to be fired, personally. Mm-hmm. Even if it's 1,000 people, I will be like, hop on a Zoom call.
That's harsh.
And then, the second thing, I will hire people that know how to put out a dumpster fire. Mm-hmm. Because I sure as hell don't. Other than I just, I don't know. I've never fired anybody before. I never want to, but I'm sure I could probably do it. I'm like, I'm really sorry, guys. I mean, this is not what I want to do. And if I could do something else, I would. You're fired, by the way. Goodbye.
Yeah, it's not good.
No, it's not. It must be like the most awful thing to have to go through. The most awful. You would think people would be empathetic, but there are some people that could just do it and not feel a thing. I would feel everything. Thank you for your comment.
Yes, thank you. So next we have Barely Regal. Hello, chum. How you doing? I can't believe we only have 3 episodes remaining. I've got theories galore, especially about what will become of Sophia, but rather than go into loads, I'm just going to pose one question. Do you want to see Battinson make a prominent appearance in the show before the finale? I would like that, yeah.
Here's the thing, Bear. This is what's going to happen. What I want to happen, not what's going to happen. I just want him to swing past in a scene. That's it. I'll take it.
You know what I think would be cool is if the Penguin's having one of his other summits, right? Then suddenly in the background, Penguin's talking, there's a deep focal shot in the background. You can see a guard, something swoops down and takes the guard away.
Oh my gosh, yes.
And then it ends with Penguin running away, leaving everyone behind. And you don't actually see Batman. You just see the aftermath of what's going on.
I sure remember the scene from Batman where he's like, I'm tied up here.
You're just going to leave me here, hopping along. Anyway. Thus far, if I recall, we've had a brief clip on TV where Sophia was in Arkham, yes. Yet, despite what's occurring in this season, we've yet to hear much from Batman at all. I'm not advocating his appearance, but I'm surprised, especially given a prominent crime family just got completely wiped out, that we haven't seen him lurking in the background of some scenes. Yeah, feel similarly. Next, we have Doc Widener, who says, thank goodness you're here. I'm sorry to hear about Luke getting the Rona. Funny, this is the first episode I saw on Sunday night, and this is the week. Instead of dodging your video, I've been eagerly waiting for it. 8 minutes 12. Trolley tunnels. That's what we were struggling to remember.
Yes. We said everything.
Yeah, it's like tram, subway, metro. Though I'm not that familiar with underground trolleys, my experience with them is as a neighborhood public transit that in a way feeds into the subway system. In the US, it is actually more buses that do that and handle the more local function, assuming you have a subway metro system. In Columbus, Ohio, rail has been mentioned for all of my life, but there hasn't been commuter rail since my father was a boy. That's a shame because we have a lot of public transport options here.
Yeah, and it's most of the time it works quite well.
Mm-hmm. But when it doesn't work well, it
stops the nation.
Yeah, it's catastrophic. But anyway, little surprise, Nadia didn't notice the petrol smell on Taj. Wait, you called it gasoline, Luke. That American wife of yours is rubbing off on you. Mm-hmm. Now, you see, if it were relating to fueling a vehicle, I would say it's petrol. I will say gasoline because that is a name for the chemical product, but I will never call it gas.
I will, and I do.
I know you do.
And Jupiter is a gas planet, but I can also pump gas.
Mm-hmm. Sophia Gigante, mobsters of the world unite. I saw an article that John Turturro said he didn't sign on the Penguin because in the show there was a lot of violence towards women and that's not my thing. He went on admitting that scheduling also led to this decision. Given what his character did in the Batman, kind of an odd thing to say. Yeah, I mean, also he is an actor, but, he's not like they're actually asking him to really harm people, but,
yeah,
he has his personal tastes and he might find that playing a character like that distressing, so.
And, because of that, we got Mark Strong. And
yeah, Mark Strong's great.
Great. I will watch a lot of stuff he's in. Mm-hmm. Not everything, but a lot of stuff.
Unlike Mikey, I've been enjoying Agatha. It is a different show than Penguin, and it's different from Wanda. Mary, I think there are aspects of the show that you would definitely vibe with. Alas, blueberry is my second favourite bagel after sesame. Sesame is best plain or for a sandwich.
Yes.
Blueberry for my sweet tooth.
Yes. I will say this about sesame because that's what, we don't have Trader Joe's over here, but we have this everything bagel we get from our online grocery store. And I'll get that, but it also has onion on it as well. I love that. But other than that, my favorite bagel is probably a sesame bagel that's just toasted, if I'm being honest.
Cinnamon raisin is perfectly fine fallback option.
Oh gosh, shouldn't tell what I think about raisins.
Yeah, Mary doesn't like raisins. Thanks for powering through this video, given how you were feeling, and making it through this comment, which I tried to turn the verbosity down on. Thank you, appreciate it.
It sounds like I am a massive bitch in this episode. First, I don't like certain fruits. I accidentally didn't want to talk to Tarantula, even though I did. And I interrupted you a lot today.
Pray for Andy Farrant and the trauma he still lives with. Next, I have David Carney, who says, hope you both feel better soon.
Oh, we do.
Didn't see that coming regarding Johnny. Yeah, this show has to win awards. Filler episodes can be done well, but most of the time they're just so bad.
Word.
Didn't realise Carmine Falcone was Mark Strong. Keep up the good work. Yeah.
Thank you.
I guess it's because Mark Strong was wearing a wig and dark glasses, and had a moustache, indicating the passage of time.
He did a good job for the small amount of time that he was in that show. I really think he did a great job.
Yeah, he has. Yeah. He's always a very good actor.
And if they don't win awards for this, they are really, like, it's rigged. Because the costume department in this is amazing. From the Sophia's wardrobe to Penguin's, everything. It's amazing. The only thing I have a problem with, and I'm just gonna say this right now, and I'm sorry. Pretty hefty man. Skinny fingers.
They're not that skinny.
They're skinny fingers.
So what you're saying is they need to make gloves for him next time.
Yeah.
Sausage finger gloves.
Talking to someone who has bigger fingers than she would like.
Right, next we have Harry Flew TV. How is a show about the Penguin, no diss to my boy Ozzy, more successful than a sequel to a movie about the Joker featuring Harley Quinn? Weeping emojis and laughter. A movie about two of the most popular DC characters. Honestly, Joker 2 feels like an overly dark Wattpad fan fiction or an overly edgy, badly written creepypasta. I was honestly expecting Joker, foolish and dull, to be a Bride of Chucky or Bonnie and Clyde type of story where a villain couple go on a chaotic mission of heist to achieve a goal. Honestly, the first Joker movie is much better, and Penguin tells a better villain story than Joker's forgettable and dreary. I honestly used to think that Summer Gleason was Vicky Vale, but I also thought she was related to Poison Ivy and BTS because of their design.
I thought that too.
Well, it's not the case. And yes, I think characters like Veronica of Vreeland and Renee Montoya deserve more love. I think we should get a spin-off show about the underrated characters, the underdogs that deserve more love. I also want to see a buddy cop team up between Harvey Bullock and Montoya. I honestly prefer a spin-off film about Veronica or Montoya if it means no more unnecessary, badly written spin-off films about Batman and Spider-Man's rogues without featuring Batman and Spider-Man to begin with. Huffy face. P.S. You guys are underrated as hell. I listen to your podcast before bed sometimes. Have a great week, you too.
I'm sorry about my maniacal laughter. Sometimes that's really loud, but thank you.
Yeah, sweet dreams if you're listening to this before bed.
Go to sleep, Gilly Bill.
Right, finally, final comment is from the Phantasm.
Hello.
My voice is about to give out. I can feel it. Hey guys, I really enjoyed the episode, and much like episode 2, I don't have a lot to point out about it. And there ends his comment. No, it doesn't. It continues. So in regards to what I said about last time about the Falcones, after this episode, I still completely feel the same way. Unless they make a season 2 of the show, I never want to see them adapted again for at least 20 years. The whole point of Year 1, The Long Halloween, and by extension Dark Victory, was to show Batman transitioning from regular gangsters to supervillains, and yet we keep revisiting them. They're not real Batman villains, they're just placeholders for the real villains. In regards to my previous comments about Thea Rossi as Dr. Julian Rush, I nearly said Dr. Thea Rossi then, which is, there's a thought. I also feel the same as last time. Oh, we forgot to mention about his little session at the start of the episode with Sophia.
Oh, yeah. We saw that coming.
Tried to keep that out. Oh, yes, you did shriek, oh, no, I didn't want to see Theo Rossi's penis. And then there it was.
I mean, I don't think the whole thing was there, but...
Yeah, you saw enough.
Yeah.
It's almost as bad as what happened to him in Sons of Anarchy.
It's almost as bad as Tigerland. If anybody knows what I'm talking about, comment the... just comment.
if we gave our videos subtitles that weren't just the name of the episode, perhaps this one could have been called A Side Glance at Theo Rossi's Penis.
Oh, gosh.
Anyway, I've lost my place in the comment. If anything, this episode made it more apparent for me. I just don't get him as a character. When he says he wants in, I have no reaction to it because I don't feel like I know him at all. He's a doctor and he says he helped out Sophia, but I find that he contributes very little, if anything at all. The most he did is saying he helped out Alberto get Sophia out of Arkham, but that was a 2-second line that is never brought up before or since, and I never even cared to wonder about it. Unless something drastic happens with him after episode 5, I think he's easily the most unnecessary character in the universe. Anyway, I'm curious, do you think Oswald killed his brothers in this universe like he did in the comics?
Yes.
I don't think he did.
I think he did.
He got mad at Victor for mentioning Jack's name. He was like, don't confuse my mother. Don't mention Jack. That was a terrible impression. I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm just reading something on Esquire.com that we might get a season 2.
Oh, really?
I don't know. I didn't read the whole thing.
Oh, you just casually glimpsed at it? Because the stuff I had read a while ago said that they weren't going to do a second season because it's all leading into the Batman 2. But, that could change.
Yeah, well, as of October 28th, when this was written, it's quite a popular... I think it's more popular than they thought it was going to be.
Oh, yeah, it's getting millions of viewers. It gets more viewers each week, which is quite uncommon with TV shows.
Yeah. The last time I remember that was when, I think it was Dexter season 4 or season 5.
It happened with The Last of Us as well.
Oh,
each episode it got more viewers.
Love that show. It's another Max show.
Yes.
What do you know? Thanks for not sponsoring us, guys.
All right, that's all the comments done. Anything you want to say, Mary?
Yeah.
Retire.
Again, thank you guys so much. This has been a really great episode, not only because it was a good Penguin episode, but also Luke and I are feeling about 98%.
Speak for yourself.
About 98% back to normal. And we will only be complaining for another 6 months that we had COVID. Like I said, I really want you guys to go out and vote. But I also want you guys to remember how much you are appreciated and how much I genuinely love hearing from you guys. And I'll say it again, like I said in the last one. Waking up in the morning is so much better when you have friends like you guys and for Angela. Obviously, the last part was a joke, but thank you guys so much for just giving me something that you can't get back, and that's your time. And I wholeheartedly, I really do love you guys, so thank you.